So what constructivism fundamentally says is I have to find out what is within kids' heads. I have to. And then I have to bring it into consciousness. I've got to make them consciously aware of what's going on. So if I just come back to the example I gave before with the seasons, it's pretty easy. If I start a topic on the seasons by saying, draw for me. All get into groups, have a go at drawing what you think causes the seasons. When they give you that, it doesn't even need me as a teacher to say, because you'll get another kid who'll say it, but how come it's not winter in the southern and the northern hemisphere at the same time? Your theory doesn't work. As soon as you get that questioning, we have what we call cognitive dissonance. Big word for, I've got two models that aren't compatible. The brain hates cognitive dissonance, and it will work to resolve that in the light of the information that's around it. Because remember, the brain wants to make sense of the world, doesn't want to have a wrong picture of the world. But I have to make those existing views conscious, and then I can challenge them. But the kids need to be aware of what they are in the first place. So again, for me, constructivism is kids are not empty vessels. They come in with all sorts of ideas about what makes the world operate in the way that it actually does. I'm just going to stop there for 1 minute to just let you have a chat. Any examples where you might think, or you've noticed that kids do similar things, where you might have come across this? I'm just going to mention quickly, there seem to also be common misconceptions that most people have. So as more and more research has been done, what we've found is there's some pretty common ones that people generally have. A lot of the work has been done in maths and science more than in other areas, but it's increasing. As a teacher, if I know what those common misunderstandings are, I can actively look for them. As I'm talking to kids, as I'm giving them activities, I'm actively scanning because I know this is a common one, I need to be watching for it. And if you haven't looked at the maths continua or the science continua, which are online, I'd strongly advise you to get your teachers to look at it. Because what we've tried to do in both those developmental continua are to say what are the common misunderstandings that kids have and what are the best teaching strategies to actually challenge those misconceptions. And in both of those continua, they go through from prep to year 10, really going through for teachers and signalling or highlighting what are the things that I need to be conscious of and I need to be working on. So again, some resources that can assist you. You can't expect a teacher to go and get all that information. But those resources are there to assist you. And the other one I want to look at, and Cheryl will love this, but I think no one can talk about learning theory without going to Vygotsky. I think for every educator, secondary, primary, it doesn't matter who, a parent, it doesn't matter who you are, we have to have an understanding of Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. One of the most influential, I think, psychologists on educational theory. I have to admit I hadn't even heard of Vygotsky probably until about 7 years ago. It certainly wasn't something I came across in my degree or even in secondary education anyway, or even in my first 15 years of teaching. Never come across it, which is a bit of a well, I guess it's not an embarrassment, it's probably an indictment of the sort of education I had, or I shouldn't even say that, maybe I just missed it and it whipped over the top and I missed that day. But I think we all have to understand that for all of us to learn, we have to understand what our zone of proximal development is. All Vygotsky really says is, unless I know where the learner is up to with their learning, they won't make progress. I have to focus the learning at the level where the learner is at.